What's Ben Shapiro doing? What's he been up to?
Write me a...
Ah! Joe Biden's garage is full of classified documents. Yeah, except it wasn't that. It was his office, which is different than a garage. We should all be spared from this book. Ben Shapiro blows up the glass onion. Oh my god, dude. So you can choose your gender, but not your race.
Okay, meanwhile, I have to give you
God, that's so loud.
the dumbest and most hilarious story of the day. I do love this story. According to the UK Daily Mail, photos obtained by the Daily Mail show how a person named Kay LeClaire was able to transform herself over the course of just 2 years from a white college student to an indigenous two-spirit, fooling even some in the Native American community. LeClaire identified themselves on Facebook as a white woman in July 2017 as they spoke of their nuptials with Adam Pagenkopf the following summer. But by 2019, they publicly identified as a Native American two-spirit, which is a term many indigenous people use to describe a non-binary gender identity. Now, I do have to...
It's not a term used to describe. It's like a thing that has existed prior to like Western ideas of gender. But whatever.
Point out here that not only is this absurd and silly on its face, it is hysterical that the media has to continue calling this obviously female person a they, but can also point out they're not Native Americans. If a person says, I'm a Native American two-spirit and I wish to be called they, instead of everybody just saying, we're not going to pay attention to any of that, we're just going to call you a white lady because you're a white lady. Instead, the media is like, no, we will call you they. We're just going to draw the line at saying that you're indigenous.
Yeah. And? Like, yeah. You can ask people to call you something different. That's fine. It's like saying, my name's Ethan, but I have a nickname. People call me Bobby. And like everyone called me Bobby. Kapow! But Ben Shapiro said, well, I actually will not call you Bobby. I will call you Ethan. Because that is your real name. And it's like, yeah, okay, I know it's my real name. It's just really weird of you. It's just weird. Ben said they, derogatory. Yeah, literally.
The good news for Kay LeClaire is that eventually she'll end up presumably being a senator from Massachusetts. That's the way this works. If you pretend to be Native American, then you can run for president eventually. LeClaire even went on to...
God, Ben Shapiro, dude. Oh my God. He's just like, he can't even muster humanity to like make a joke. Like he can't dig into his fucking black heart to find joy. He has to make a joke while looking fucking pissed off. Like he's not even looking at the camera. He's not even proud of that own joke. Like he knows he's not funny.
LeClaire even went on to co-found a queer indigenous artists collective in Wisconsin and started buying Native American art from Etsy, which they would pass off as their own and sell to unsuspecting buyers. Man.
That's hilarious. I mean, that's just like a con person. Con they.
Wokeness, they say go woke, go broke, but the truth is that if you're talking about catering to a particularly stupid crowd, go woke, make a little bit of money.
Oh, Ben. I don't know why you make me do these things. It doesn't have to be like this, Ben. Facts don't care about your feelings. $35. You think this is made in America? Facts don't care about your feelings hat. $30. Facts snapback hat. Normally $70, but it's on sale for $42. Daily Wire flag dad hat, $30. Daily Wire forward flag women's t-shirt, $35. Freedom Convoy shirt for the Canadian truckers, if you remember that, which everyone forgot because it was, nothing. Normally $35, but it is on sale for $20.99. Oh, a Candace Owens t-shirt on sale because of anti-Semitism. This is probably one of the worst shirts I think I've ever seen. Yeah, even the Canadians forgot. Yeah, and this shit is not, like, that's like a 90% profit margin. Like, there's no way. Che Fauche t-shirt. Normally $35, but it is $20. Brett Cooper Polaroid, $45 for the Brett Cooper shirt. For this is $45 for this fucking like Gildan fucking made in China fucking made in fucking Bangladesh fucking burlap sack. Another $45 shirt, just a picture of Brett Cooper's legs. So that's weird. It's funny that Candace Owens has the discounted merch, but the new girl has the the white one has the $45 merch. Debunked hoodie, normally $70 on sale. Whew. And then of course, you know, their own Netflix, conservative Netflix, full of just the nastiest shit. Oh, and you can get a gift membership for $144. Oh, or it could be all access for $240. Man, doesn't the left really like to profit off of their idiotic audience? Love that.
Go woke, claim victimhood, you do okay.
Like, yeah, like there's idiots who will buy fucking moronic shit. Like, that's the case no matter who's buying it. And the people buying it were probably liberals who agree more with you than they do with me.
It used to be, in the more racist days of the United States, that people, in order to escape the evils of racism, would sometimes attempt to pass as members of the white race. Right? And that was an indicator of the evils of America's racial caste system.
I'm sorry. I spaced out and all I heard was white race. Excuse me, Ben? White is not a race, you fucking racist, white supremacist piece of shit. That tilts me so much every time I fucking hear it.
People, in order to escape the evils of racism, would sometimes attempt to pass as members of the white race. Right?
Oh my God.
And that was an indicator of the evils of America's racial caste system. And there's a real thing that used to happen. Now you have white people attempting to pass themselves off as members of minorities, which...
Was it good before? Are you saying it was good that people were, like, existing in such racist conditions that they would fucking claim to be white if they were mixed or something? White isn't a race. No. White is not a race. In the same way that black is not a race. Okay. Listen, guys. Blackness is a concept created by the conditions that America provided for people that they enslaved, right? It's a description of a group of people that we basically don't know where they came from because all the records were destroyed, and their experience in America and the UK and other areas of colonization, right? Whiteness didn't exist until blackness did, as a counter to it. And the white race is a concept that has changed dramatically over time. For example, Benjamin Franklin didn't think German people were white. He didn't think Italian people were white. He basically only thought British people were white. Anyone who's Anglo, that's who he thought was white. Exactly. In the same way we say Obama is the first black president and not just another white one because he's half black. The one drop rule is a concept where one drop of non-white blood makes you non-white. Obama is mixed, but we see him as black because whiteness is about exclusion. And while whiteness does incorporate now German people, it used to exclude them in the same way it also excluded Irish people. Irish people weren't considered white until like 100 years ago. Yeah, race is has more to do with your race is what people think of when they think of ethnicity. Like, even German isn't a race. Germanic, I guess, would be the race. In the same way, like, Russian isn't a race. You're Slavic, in all likelihood. But you could be Kazakh. You could be Turkic. Race and ethnicity are things that have to do with the region that you're from, regardless of national borders. But in America, because everyone is stupid, political commentators like Ben have to dumb down the concepts of race. And when I say everyone is stupid, I mean like people who care about race in like a exclusionary way. Racists like Ben have to dumb down these concepts that are very nuanced into black and white because Ben's little tiny audience brains cannot conceptualize anything past that. Are race and ethnicity synonyms? They shouldn't be, but in society they are. Also, yeah, skin color in a white-dominated system is always going to be skewed to benefit white people. Okay.
I should tell you something about the social circumstances surrounding race in the United States right now. You don't see a lot of black Americans attempting to pass themselves off as white, but you do see a lot of white Americans attempting to pass themselves off as members of minorities to their...
Okay, one. Rachel Dolezal, who was ridiculed and still is for it.
thereby gain victimhood status in the new racial hierarchy of intersectionality.
You know, Rachel Dolezal was fired when they realized she was white, right? She wasn't, like, praised for that.
Some in the Native community have now said they had their suspicions about LeClaire, who went from a light-haired brunette to a tan woman with dark hair over the course of just a few years. LeClaire was ultimately forced to step down from their community positions last month, after it came to light that they were actually a pretendian, a term natives use for people who pretend to have indigenous lineage.
Which is, like, very common in America, right? Like, a very common, like, the white people thing is to be like, I'm 164th Cherokee. And it's like, yeah, okay. It's literally a part of our culture that black people are expected to be more white and take on more features of whiteness just to hope for even a crumb of the same privileges and opportunities. Yeah. Like, for example, there are plenty of examples of black people having to cut their dreads or change their hairstyles. Like, a school will make a black teenager change his dreads or cut them off, or he like won't be allowed to play football or will get suspended or some shit. And the same will happen in the workplace with adults too. It's fucked up.
It is unclear whether they will face charges for their false claims, as profiting off a false Native American identity is a federal crime. By the way, that's kind of fascinating that if you profit off a false Native identity, that's somehow a federal crime. But if you
Because Native Americans receive federal aid. Because Native Americans receive federal aid. Because Native Americans receive federal aid. It's not good. It's not enough. But they do get federal aid. And it's illegal to do fraud, Ben. It's illegal to do fraud in America and receive money from the government that you don't deserve. Okay? It's a crime. Crime is illegal when you do it. Fucking cocksucking idiot.
profit off another false identity, like saying pretending you're a man or a two-spirit, or you're a man, you pretend you're a woman, that's not a federal crime.
As a joke, it's almost like it's easy to understand and read.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put him in a trash compactor.
Advanced Smite, a hobbyist genealogist.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Being trans should be a crime, Ben.
Profit off another false identity, like saying pretending you're a man or a two-spirit, or you're a man, you pretend you're a woman, that's not a federal crime.
Yeah. It should be a federal crime to be trans. You're right.
Advanced Smite, a hobbyist genealogist, has laid out how LeClaire has claimed to have Meti Oneida, Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Cuban, and Jewish heritage. And a little bit of Jewish at the end, just for the fun of it. The anonymous genealogist told Madison 365 they first became aware of LeClaire through a Facebook ad for the upcoming talk on indigenous feminism. It identified LeClaire under her native name, Nibiwakamigkwe, which Advanced Smite said they found unusual because given the Ojibwe name is typically something that would be just used in ceremony or with other people who are Ojibwe or a part of your community, it's weird that you're publicly using it. Advanced Smite, who is also of indigenous heritage, conducted some research and found that while LeClaire is a common Native American last name, there were social media posts in which they identified as Anishinaabe. The genealogist then discovered that LeClaire had previously claimed to be Cuban. So this person seems to be some sort of...
Fuck. I got sick bugged. Sounds like he's having a racist stroke a little bit, yeah. Yeah, this person's fucking crazy, Ben. How are you going to act like this is fucking like a thing that people are doing? How are you going to act like this is something that fucking is normal or accepted by anyone? The reason that it's a news story is because it's a bad thing to do and that people don't want people to do it and that people are like, hey, that's fucking weird. That's the whole point of the news story, Ben. Fuck!
Sociopath seeking to take advantage of the woke status in modern America.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro will be like, this trans person is a sociopath, and that is representative of all trans people. But white people, when a fucking white man does a shooting, when multiple white men keep doing fucking shootings, that has nothing to do with being white. When white men are overwhelmingly pedophiles, that has nothing to do with that. You deserve less in your life. You deserve like a misery. I hope the worst possible thing happens to you.
This is bizarre. It's bizarre stuff. And again, says less about this human being because there are lots of crazy people in the United States, and much more about the incentive structure in the United States right now.
Dude, she got in trouble. Like, what do you mean? No, it doesn't. How are you this idiotic? How are you this fucking low functioning? Like, are you serious?
The supply of racism does not meet the demand for racism. And so people are now claiming to be members of minority race.
Ben, I can scroll in your comment section and find something anti-Semitic from one of your subscribers. Easily. Candace Owens, your own employee, was friends with Kanye West, famously I Love Hitler, Kanye West.
Totally wild. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be getting into Walgreens now distributing the abortion pill. Plus, we have on an economist.
When do we get to put him in the microwave?
I'm gonna lube him up.
Going to want to miss it. We'll be getting into Walgreens now distributing the abortion pill. Plus,
Walgreens now distributing the abortion pill? Bro, what do you mean? Walgreens now distributing the abortion? Well, you mean it's a pharmacy? I'm really tired of conservatives just literally demonstrating a continuous and deficient understanding of how the world works and then making it everyone else's problem. I'm sick of it. I am. All right. I'm going to take a break. And then I'm going to go, I'm going to come back and we're going to play a video game. Okay? This just in. Pharmacy distributing medicine. Anyway, I'll be right back, guys.